So everyone was so shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was running around being like, "Why did you do it?" And what led you to this point,
Yeah.
for this to happen?
Uh-huh.
And I had to, I couldn't explain it to them, but it was like, I hated her so much,
So much.
so much,
How much?
like
Teething.
heathing, side of my face. I didn't know what to do
Let's start a
anymore.
podcast.
Okay. Anyway, you know how they say,
What did I say?
like when you step on a crack, you break your mom's back.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the people, the places, the things, the nouns we talk about are so mother
Yeah,
that we skip those parts.
yeah, you're so right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your week, girl?
How's my
You
week?
start because I think you had less, and I
Yeah,
have a lot to talk about.
yeah. Um, Nothing much. I
How?
went. You
The
having nothing to
Olympics
say.
started.
I know. Oh my god, it's so important to my life.
I
Um.
know. Jesus. Novak Djokovic played tennis today.
Oh wow.
That means a lot to me, though.
Okay.
Hearing Novak Djokovic moan.
Okay. I can jive with that. I, on the other hand, don't give a shit. And also, nothing. I went to the pool. Like we rented out a thing,
Uh-huh.
and it had a pool
We just
for the
ate, so
day.
we're gonna post thing. Like,
Haze.
yeah.
Um. But yeah. So that was.
We'll freshen up by the midway point of this
No,
episode.
trust me.
We will be sharp.
Believe you me. Um, I was free balling it with my boobs, free boobing it in the pool. It was around like 8 p.m. and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm just gonna take my bra off and go swim. It was
In
great.
front of your mother?
Yeah, who gives a shit? It's my
Your
mom.
mother. Kidding.
You know?
I'm very, like, I'm very, what's the word? Antagonistic towards your mother.
Hmm.
But I hate your father, you know? Like, I don't despise your mother the way I despise
Yeah,
your father. But your mother, I'm just like,
really love to shit on
I
her.
love to shit on her and I love to be antagonistic. I will always be like, oh, she's not the worst person in the world, but she just sucks.
I just hate her. No, but it was fun to hang out with her. She went with us. It was me and like two friends from work. That was fun. The night before, I hung out with your cousins. They're fun. I mean, your cousin and her boyfriend.
Talk about that
Yeah,
later in much more detail.
yeah,
I
and
sound like I'm gonna bitch on them.
yeah,
I will
praise them.
I will cry about how much I love them,
Yeah,
you know.
no, I love Maya, and I met her boyfriend too. And it's like
But
they're
like
perfect together.
she's not my like not my biological cousin,
Okay,
but I'm closer to her than like my actual cousin.
okay. Um,
I'm closer to her and then even to my sister. Like
yeah. Um, what else? It's like this week is gonna be my last. Like I have 3 days left to work, and then I'm going on vacation.
oh, so you are working tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and the
Yeah,
day after
do
that.
that. Yes.
That's how 3 days in.
That's how. Yes.
I am not ready to go back to work.
Me neither. I don't want to.
Sure.
I really want to be like, hey, does it really matter if I like don't? But it does because a lot of people are off. And it's like the one time you actually want me to work, I don't want
Yeah.
to. But yeah, no, I'll do that. Then I'm going on vacation. That's gonna be a lot though, because that we're bringing the dog, and he's not the most friendly with people. I mean,
He's
he's
excited. He's
yeah,
excited, and he's not the size of a dog who should be excited.
yeah, he's very like, I'll jump on you, but if he jumps on someone, he's
There's a
scratching them,
there's a
like,
dog in the neighborhood called Nala,
yeah,
and she's like the perfect amount to be an excited dog.
yeah,
Like,
she's
she's the
small and
perfect
she's like,
size.
yeah,
But also, I think it's like, what do the owners think? Are they the same way worried about Nala the way we are
yeah,
about Link?
I
Because
don't
I bet
know,
like Link jumps on some people and they're like, "Oh my god, hey baby,"
yeah, and they're like, get down,
and we're like, "Come on, you're embarrassing us. You're
yeah,
gonna ruin the whole operation."
yeah, um, nothing else really.
My like, so what the next week is gonna be for you? It was for me, like
Mhm.
these 3 days, and then I had 2 days off of work. Oh my god, how much I needed a break.
Yeah.
I was ready to like fight with somebody on work, but somebody who's not being mean to me, like
Mm-hmm.
just
Just be a dick.
somebody doing their job, and I was ready to be like,
Fuck you.
hey, fuck you, you
Yeah.
know, like, and I was just like, I really need like a few days off, and I took a few days off because my family friend and her boyfriend came.
Yeah.
Never met her boyfriend, never met Felix, and it was
Also, such a cool name.
Felix.
Felix. I don't know why. I'm really like Felix is like
Well, first of all, it
a
means
great
luck
name to
in Italian
have.
and in Latin.
Yeah.
So I was like, and let me also say personally,
Hmm.
it was PewDiePie's name. I mean, it is PewDiePie's
Okay.
name. So as a kid, I was like, Felix, you know,
Felix. Yeah.
I love the name,
I love that name.
love the name, great name.
Great name.
But no, it was also like it was good to meet him because at some in some points, it was also kind of easier to talk to Maya, like being like you're more human, you're more like I don't know, I see you
You
more.
don't revert back to the way you were like before
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
talking to her. Yeah.
I kind of like before it was like I'm being a bit safe,
Yeah.
but he was there and I was like, for some reason I was like, I see you more as a person now
Okay.
because you brought your boyfriend and then like, oh, you have a boyfriend.
People have boyfriends.
Yeah, people
So
have
you're a people
boyfriends.
now.
You're people now. Now you were a
You know
people,
what you
you know.
know. Yeah.
And it was just so much fun because for a lot of the times when they come to visit, as I mean, so it's her and her brother Denny, and they come to visit us often. And Denny does come to visit, like without his dad. But before that, whenever they visited, it was like with
Yeah.
like, and then our parents would hang out,
Yeah.
and then we would all kind of be like not ourselves to a
Yeah.
full extent because we're constantly hanging out around our parents.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to just finally experience her. 'Cause I've hung around with Danny a lot.
Yeah.
Danny comes to visit a lot, and Danny loves Basel. Danny is, you know, Danny.
I know
Danny
them.
is the greatest. He is
No, they're really fun and like the only two people that I met that I was instantly comfortable around to just be
absolutely.
like, I mean, that's my story. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
story with them. But it was like the first time I met them was when literally they came by to help us like paint.
I
And that
forgot
was
about that.
the only time, like the first time I'm meeting them, I'm like, okay, you do the walls, I'll do this.
And
Just
they were
like
so like,
so helpful, so
let's do
with it.
this.
Like, and
This is a fun time.
I love
Let's
people who, and you're like this too, where it's like, not for a single second do I feel bad asking you for
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
because you bring that vibe around.
We like the two of them too bring the
Yeah.
vibe around like this is fun.
Yeah, let's go.
We're
I'm
having fun.
having fun and like I'll help you and it's not for a second like an inconvenience to
Yeah.
me. And
If
I'm
I
like,
want
I
to
love
stop,
that.
I'll stop. I'll go sit
Yeah.
down. Like
Yeah.
it's
And I love it. I love honesty.
yeah, no, it's great. And also like Felix, of course, meeting a new man and is always a bit unnerving for me. And he just instantly so like
Oh,
I bought them Lego, I bought her flowers, and I bought like a little motorcycle.
yeah.
And I love my she just went like, now I feel like shit I didn't buy you anything. And I was like, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Like that not pretending to be
Yeah.
like, oh thank you, and then being like, oh shit, we gotta play.
Yeah.
Because
I
that for
didn't
me
get
is
your
so
shit.
genuine, being like have like 3 days later buying you something, being
Yeah.
like,
Here.
here, like yeah, I thought of
No.
you. No, no, no. She's just oh well, now I feel like shit. I
I
didn't
didn't
buy.
get you jack crap. Yeah.
And I told them like I didn't know if my paycheck would land this week.
Yeah.
If it didn't, you would be getting jack shit.
Something like
But it did, so like
it was so funny. We were at the store too, and they were like, "No, no, let us pay." And I'm like, "No, I got paid today." And then he goes, "All right then." Like, okay, fair enough. You pay.
this is a this it's
Yeah,
more important for you to pay.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But no, it was I desperately needed this break off of work and what people to spend the days off of work with. And you know that I get very like I'm burping a lot and I'm hiccuping a lot
Yeah.
because I ate like an animal. But you know that I get a lot like when I'm with people, it's like I have to always be on.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment always has to be ready. People have to feel fun and happy
Yeah.
and all the time.
Yeah.
And and with them, it wasn't tiring.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's like for instance, Denny, he's a totally different person.
Mm-hmm.
Denny comes by and he is happy just being there,
Yeah.
and I'm like being like, okay, should we go walk? Should we go? Should we watch a movie? Should we? And
We can just sit here.
Me and Denny don't have as much in common as me and Maya have.
Okay.
Like me and Maya listen to very different music, but she showed me some of the music. It's such a vibe.
Yeah.
There's like she showed me like Austrian rappers where
Hmm.
one guy just like really loves fat chicks.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Love him. And he has this one song where he just talks about whores.
It's
It's amazing. It's so
wonderful.
good.
Yeah.
And I also feel like it's so positive. Like I have this thing where when I meet a new man, I want to be like, oh, don't worry, I'm a dude too.
Yeah.
So then, what do dudes do? They talk about their sexual exploits, and then I do it the same. But it kind of is counteractive because I'm talking about fucking men.
Yeah. So like,
So like, I'm not really showing masculinity. I'm
yeah, I'm
showing
not being like,
fantasy.
yeah, those bitches. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm like that foot fetishist. Yeesh.
Yeesh. Yikes.
That father of three children. Ugh.
Like, oh, that was fun actually.
Well, the 47-year-old man.
Yeah.
It's
I feel
fun.
like that one story everyone would love to hear.
Oh,
You
they
know what I
heard
mean?
it.
Like
Don't
like
worry,
the
they
most
heard it.
homophobic person in the world that they would hear that story and be like, oh wow.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Just be like, "Ooh."
For you guys who don't know, there for the audience. I
Yes.
told them the story as well. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Um, so there was this one,
Like, yeah, it's the best thing that ever happened to you. Of course you told them.
and I've had adventures.
Yeah.
I've had
I've lived a life.
I've lived a full life, but like, so there was this one like 40-something-year-old man. I don't remember much, and he was on Reddit, and I was like, "Oh, you are so attractive, sir."
Mm.
And he was like, "I'm into men my age or older," and I went like, "Fair, I am too." But he was that attractive that I didn't really back down instantly. And I
Hmm.
was like, hey, I usually would back down, but you're so attractive.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, there's this one fantasy I have. And I was like, oh, what is it? And he's like, I want somebody to come in, do the deed, and just no words, nothing, and just leave.
Yeah.
You know what I responded with? What's your address?
Give me a time and place. And that's the last words you'll ever speak to me, sir.
I walk in, he like I think he didn't ask me how I am, but he tells me something like I don't know, like if I had trouble finding the place or
Yeah.
something, didn't say shit.
Yeah, you're like, Nana? Shh, 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 shh. Mm.
And then we do the deed, and
Yeah.
then at the end he goes like, "The washroom's over there if you need it," and I just leave.
You just leave. That is so kind. The
I
way,
know.
oh my God.
And it's
I love it.
I'm an extremely talkative person,
Yeah.
but I was
Yeah,
handed a
perfect.
script. It was a blank page, so
I understood the assignment.
I understood the assignment.
Yes.
I
I'm
was.
poor after all.
After all, I am in the oldest industry known as man. That's what.
Yes. Oh God.
But no, and he was instantly so like, oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like with my other like sixers and shit like that. And I feel comfortable enough around them to be like, hey, I'm doing this all because I get very intense.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's okay.
Who did that?
This is fun.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to stay till today and
Hmm.
leave today, but they're having like an unplanned like Bosna journey,
Hmm.
and they decided to leave yesterday. And it was so funny because first of all, my mother went cycling to like the shops. I'm still hiccuping. And she was like, John, I locked my key with your I locked my bike with your bike chain. And I was like, but mother, it is well known that a few weeks ago my ditzy sister lost the replacement key of that bike chain. And as I well know, because it's in my pocket, the key is in my pocket. She's like, yes, that's why I'm calling you. So I had to get on your tiny ass bike. It's tiny for me, but it's
Yeah.
good enough for you. And had to like, I looked like a clown. And I had to go get my mom on cycle. I left them here watching Kunk. And I came back and they were like, we decided to go tomorrow. It was Friday, so they were like, we decided to go tomorrow. And we had like a lot of different weird plans and shit like that. And I was just like, and it's weird because I'm just explaining to Felix like, oh, whatever you want to do. I'm
Yeah.
like, don't in any way like wrap yourselves around what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do, and I'll follow you because I want to have a good time. And then Felix in the back is just like, it's not like we have such a great time with you. Just like we gotta go because
Yeah, we're on a time
we're
schedule,
out of time,
babes.
and like I would love to come here and stay here like a week, and you're invited to Vienna whenever you want
Mhm.
to. It's not a
Yeah,
thing, and I'm just like Felix.
girl,
Oh.
calm down.
It was just such a nice time, and I'm so
Mhm.
glad to have met him and to have like kind of connected with Maya more because we have like so our parents are friends, so we have similar dads, which was a lot to talk about, and that it was a great thing to open up to each
Yeah,
other, being like so much of our childhoods were like similar but different in a way, but like it was this connection and this click that was just like so touching. And it was funny because we talked about so much,
mhm,
and then Felix, who did not have a childhood like that in the
yeah.
back, was just like, "Oh wow, okay."
Okay.
um, so that was like it was really nice to get to know her more, even though we
Hmm.
like grew up together. But it's like I don't know, it was this click for the
Yeah,
first time in a long time. It was this click that I don't feel like I had with her. I mean, I of course I always loved her and I always loved
yeah.
hanging around her, but just this time I was like
They had a moment of connection.
a moment
So
of connection, the same way I had with Denny. That now, whenever like oh they're gonna visit, I'm never gonna feel like okay, what am I gonna do?
yeah,
I'm just like let's go.
let's do it.
They because the last time I think I have a virus in me that spreads to everybody around,
Okay.
where people just have to they see me,
Mhm.
they get my scent,
Mhm.
they hear three things about me,
Mhm.
and they decide to watch BoJack Horseman. BoJack Horseman, Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers. Yes.
The, they because Maya and Eddie were here last time,
Mhm.
and I was just like, I'm tired. Turns on Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
I I mentioned BoJack Horseman too much. Maybe I should watch the show again.
Yeah.
I'm off my meds actually. I should.
You should not.
And then they watched it, and they watched it in German, and I sang a few of the songs, and they're like, now we have to also watch it in English because the songs are better in English. So, but it's nice to hear like, were you there when she's like, when's the new podcast coming
Yeah,
out?
we were talking about doing the podcast. Like, I need a new episode, and I was like, "You're the only
You're
one."
the only one. We make the jokes about like the three people listening to
Yeah,
us, but like
and it's the two of us
the two of
and
us and Maya.
Maya. Hi, Maya.
Hi, Maya. Hey, baby. It's her own private show.
Yeah, it's just for you. We're doing this just for you.
But they were also very impressed with Bosna. They were
Yeah.
like, "You can smoke indoors."
Yeah, it was so weird to me. He came into the apartment and he was like, "I can smoke outside if you want me." I'm like, "What are you gonna smoke? Crack? Like what? Why would you go outside?" I was so confused, and I was like, "What are you telling me right now?"
Why? Like, for what reason? What's
What's
the
the holdup, girl?
why the there's a like ashtray on the table like in front of you. But I made this great joke. We took Polaroids and we looked like so happy and
Yeah.
so having fun. And I was just like, this will be a perfect like their last picture together before because they're gonna sleep in their car in nature, which
Yeah,
amazing.
it's amazing. I want to do that
If
living. How does it feel?
how does it my
My dream.
dream? They also went to Sicily.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Now I'm starting to hate them.
No,
You.
the whole time I'm telling Felix the jokes about like Richie Richie
Yeah.
because his
Like,
father loved boats and he's playing tennis now, and for some
yeah.
reason for me that was like,
Right.
oh,
Money.
you're rich.
Yeah.
And then he was
Old
like, what
money.
kind of sports do you like? And I was like, badminton. Yeah. See, he's actual luxury. I'm one of
Hmm.
the luxury.
Yeah.
He's old money. I'm new money.
Yeah. Exactly. You're the YouTuber who got rich.
Oh,
Finally. And it's still like, my father drives no sponsor.
my papa drives their own. Speaking of my cousins, like actual biological
Hmm.
cousins, her husband drives the fastest car in Boston. I am not over exaggerating.
Okay, what is
He
it?
has a Bentley,
Oh,
like a genuine Bentley, and they're selling it. Do you want to know why?
why?
Because everybody keeps staring at them.
God, it's like Tara Yummy. She had a pink car, and now she had to like get a new one because she was like, everyone knows it's me, so people keep following me. It's that.
I don't care. I mean, I'm gonna. I'm not gonna have the most expensive car. but I am going to make it look like the Scooby Doo car, and
Yeah.
it's gonna get attention. And
Yeah.
like, it's like, do you have a disconnect of the world so you don't know that it's gonna get
Yeah.
attention? Because you gotta expect it, as long as it's not like nobody's like breaking things or something like that.
Yeah.
But I bet you have great security for a car like that.
Probably.
But yeah, no, it's great fun, and I cannot wait. I'm probably gonna go visit him in what's the one after October?
September.
September. Yeah, the one I sleep in.
While you're sleeping. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna visit him in September, or like even later in the year to have like a Christmassy thing over
Yeah.
there or something like that. So
So wait, they live in Vienna?
they full time live in Vienna.
Oh,
They
wow.
have their own apartment.
Their own apartment.
They
How
own
old
an
is she?
apartment. He's 25,
How old is she?
23.
What the fuck am I doing with my life?
Well, his
The
parents
fuck?
did help him out with buying the apartment, but I think he paid for like a lot of it too. But like, well, they're respectable people who he finished school. He's like programming.
Yeah, he's doing
He's
stuff.
doing stuff.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Doing a
Nothing.
podcast
We're
that
doing a
that
podcast.
one person is listening to. Hi, Maya. um, are we happy though?
We are happy.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
No,
That's
we
the
are
thing.
happy.
It'd be one
Today,
thing if they weren't. I'd be like, well, you have what I don't. No, they're happy
no, they're
people.
happy and we're happy. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we're happy together. They bought us Cluedo.
Yeah, I
And
was so like, oh my god. Because they also gave me like face masks and like
yeah,
a
Maya, that's
treat for that.
Maya got you that.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then you were like, oh, they also got us Cluedo. And I was like, well, fuck this. Then like, I threw in the trash.
uh,
Really funny. I'm a comedian.
it's hilarious.
So
She's just funny like
I got jokes.
no, but what I mentioned before, I just love openness.
Yeah.
I was like, he was like, you're taking such good care of us, and I feel shitty that we didn't buy you anything. If you didn't say that, it would feel like. Have you ever had that experience
Yeah,
of like
but
you bought something for somebody and then they like later buy something else for you,
yeah, and be like,
and it
hey,
feels like
force and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
you bought me. It's great. I loved spending time with them. I
Yeah.
really like. It was a great 3 days. It was. It, Maya won both rounds in Cluedo, by the way, which like
Yeah.
fuck you.
Fuck you, Maya.
But I won all the rounds in Quiplash, so
Hey.
hey. But yeah, no, that was great, and I'm well rested. And I hope there's a lot of people at work tomorrow because it's just the five. If it's like 5 people, I am going to yell at somebody. I am going to get into trouble. I am going to like.
I had a day at work Friday actually. It was
Mhm.
like kind of like a busy day for a while, but it wasn't like intense. And then this guy who comes in the night shift kept like bidding on a bunch of loads, and he kept sending it like to
Mhm.
me, being like, "Can you sell this? Can you sell that?" And it was like 10
To
in a
to the
row.
audience, what are loads?
Um, stuff you put on trucks and then you take it where it needs to go.
Yeah, the matter that's being
Yeah.
transported.
So he kept like giving it more and more, and I was so like, I couldn't, like, it was way too much, too fast, and I was posting it. I was like, what? It's a big thing. What? I'm not gonna get into it, but it was a lot. And then he sends another one, and I'm like, girl, and he's like, sorry, he, like, whatever.
And
And
it's like no he.
no, I was so like in it, and then one of them was about to expire, and I hadn't posted it yet, so like it was kind of 50-50. It's either gonna go or it won't go, like we don't know. And I was like, there's like 40 seconds left, and I just like there's a accept anyway.
Yeah.
So I accepted it, and then I write to him like, I just accepted it. Fuck it, we ball.
Oh, it was a big like
Yeah, it was
you
like,
and me
let's go.
against the world.
We're in this together, babes. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. I got like a lot of endorphins off of that.
Yeah, that's great.
But
When I go to Vienna to visit him, he's really into like mountain climbing and rock climbing and
yeah,
shit like that. And I'm like, I cannot wait.
yeah,
And I'm gonna wear my best Lara Croft
yes.
cosplay, definitely.
Yeah.
And I love that he was like, "Yeah, do it," and I'm like, joking, but like now
Can I?
maybe not.
Maybe I should. Should we be bad?
Should we be Lara Croft? Let's be Lara Croft. Notification suggestion on my laptop. Fuck off. I don't care about
I
you.
don't care about you.
But no, it was a great time. I just can't wait for them to watch Bob's Burgers in English to get all my references that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I explain like, oh, the episode's about this, 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 and this, they go, like, oh, we know. But when I say like Linda, listen,
Listen, Linda.
and they're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then I have to go like, Linda, hör zu. Linda, Linda, hör zu. Linda, Linda, hör zu. Ich weiß nichts über Kinder oder wie man eine Microwave benutzt. It's also very fun to hear my parents do their best of speaking German.
Mhm.
It is like it's
I would be
Russian.
such a cunt though about
It's
it.
Russian speaking language.
Yeah, I
very
know.
much.
But I would be so like to your dad, I'd be like, as a director of a school, you should catch up on it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
And
like,
then
you
my
should be
mom,
better at
who's
that.
like much, much worse, like,
Uh,
oh, you're doing
You're
perfect.
doing amazing, sweetie. You're the best.
You're the best. Mwah. But yeah, no, this week was very fun. I'm kind of the only thing that's missing from this week is like actual rest. I didn't
Yeah.
sleep a lot.
That's the worst part. Every time I'm like, I can't wait for the weekend to get here. But I'm a very like, like I'll have like, okay, I'll take a day off for myself, and then 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So I'm bored. But then it's like, if I have people around me constantly, then I'm like tired on Monday.
I prepare myself on before we do like the topic of the week, I must talk about something. But first, so the Thursday they have to come. I took a free day off of work, even though they're coming late. I don't give a shit. I masturbated like 14 times. Like let's
Get ready.
yeah, let's get it ready.
Get it out of the system as much
yeah,
as possible.
for 3 days. Like maybe it
Maybe.
will last. And but I also took the Thursday off because something revolutionary was happening in the planet Earth. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No, tell me. I have
Batman
not
the Cape
talked about it enough.
Batman the Cape Crusader has dropped. I honestly think that I have not talked about it enough. I really think that I didn't annoy you to the extent that I should.
Yeah.
Or
Or the extent that you're capable of.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
necessarily should.
So a new Batman animated series dropped, and it's inspired by like earlier Batman, where it's like and they toned it down. Like there's not nowadays Batman can get a little bit lost, where it's like, oh, this lonely fighter against crime, and his 70 sidekicks. Like there's a disconnect. But this one is like it starts and people don't even know if Batman's real or not, and it's a dark show, let me tell you. And I watched it all in one sitting. I was really like, it's a really good show, and to any Batman fan, I recommend it. I wouldn't say it's like for non-Batman. I wouldn't say it's like a good introduction to the show because it's a lot of like it's uber serious.
Okay.
It's really like the first episode, he puts the Penguin, who's a woman this time, a Swallow Cobblepot. He puts her in prison, only to find out that he has made the gang war worse because now he's freeing up her turf.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes like, "Nobody wins tonight,
Yeah.
girl." It's a lot. And oh my god, you might actually like it. I might. It's 10 episodes for 20 minutes. There's first of all, there's the first ever portrayal of Harley Quinn without Joker.
Oh.
But not like there were of course portrayals of Harley Quinn post Joker.
Yeah.
But this is like Joker is not her origin story.
Yeah.
This is just Harley Quinn. She's this psychologist who, when you push her to her limits,
Yeah.
she
snaps. Yeah.
she snaps, and then she like locks people in and goes like, like I don't know. There's this guy who's like too fat, and then there's this other guy who like didn't want to give up his money for something, and then she was like, if you beat this guy up, you'll get pudding, shit like that, and it's crazy. But she has an ongoing romance with Detective Montoya, a woman.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, and it's so like they just talk and they just go like, "What are you doing tonight?" And it's so cute, and it's like the '60s vibes without being like without having to talk about homophobia and shit like that, and it is nice, and no, I really like this show. It has an earnest like John stamp of approval facing Batman media. Yeah. Something that doesn't really face my approval with Batman media is the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League.
Okay.
And it was mentioned in a movie that we both quite like.
Which movie is that?
Well, let's both look at our wall.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a poster where it says she's everything. He's just Ken. It says Margot Robbie. It says Ryan Gosling, and it says Barbie. On the
Barbie.
poster.
So
It's the anniversary.
it's the anniversary and it's time.
It's
We
it is
made this when we just started talking about the podcast. You were like, "Oh, I have this idea. Let's do like mother, like skipping the crowd. All this, like, let's
yeah
just talk about mothers, right?" And
yeah motherhood
instantly we
like
both went like the Barbie movie.
yeah.
And then you were like, "But let's hold off.
Let's hold
Let's
off.
hold off.
Let's hold off for
Let's
when
hold."
we're rich and famous. And now that we are, jokes aside, it's the anniversary. One time we were almost ready to do it,
Mhm.
but I felt I had a really real week where I was very negative about a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
And Barbie talks about a lot of real world problems,
yeah.
and I would get a little bit intense about some of those problems and that mindset.
Mhm.
So I was like, let's wait,
Yeah.
because I want to be in the correct,
Yes.
proper, good mindset for Barbie.
Absolutely.
And today we watched it, and we
We
both
watched it. It
we
was so
cried. We
funny.
cried again.
I cried from the beginning because I remembered how it ends. Like it's her getting up out of bed, being like,
When I wake up, no, 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 no. How dare you? It does not start like that. When there from the beginning, when there were girls, there were dolls, but there
they were
were
all
only always baby
baby dolls.
dolls.
And then down comes
Barbie,
Miss Margot herself
Miss Margot,
in her swimming suit. The
Martindale.
first,
No,
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 no.
Robbie.
Robbie, which
What is it?
I did a downgrade. Sorry that I mentioned Margot Martin.
Yeah,
I should
nobody
I
comes close.
I shouldn't mention Margot Martindale when talking about Margot
Yeah,
Robbie
she's
because
incomparable. She's like,
everybody she's incomparable. Say the joke. Say the joke.
she's incomparable. She's like,
That should have ended the podcast right there. She's incomparable. She's kind of like a
no, but it starts off and it's her coming down huge, like this.
it's a parody of 2001's A Space
Yeah,
Odyssey.
and it's
If you
from the
have
first
seen that,
edition.
it's the apes finding like this thing from
Mhm.
like so it's this first from what I know
Yeah,
about the movie, it's this first time like humanity started
yeah,
existing. So first time they're actually rising up and
yeah.
starting. So Barbie,
Barbie comes to Earth to save all these girls from baby dolls.
yeah,
So the little girls are throwing the baby dolls and smashing them, and they're like, "I can be a doctor now because Barbie
yeah,
is a doctor." Anyway,
and Barbie just stands there so proud of herself.
yeah, and she's like, "Hi."
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, everyone has seen a Barbie movie. I don't think we need to get into the plot lines.
Okay, let's not.
It's just like, oh, Barbie is feeling sad and she's thinking about death, and then she gets cellulite, and then she goes to Weird Barbie, and Weird Barbie is like, there's a
You
space
gotta go
time,
into the real world. Yeah.
yes,
And then
continuum, and you have to get into the real world, and you have to help the human who's playing with you, and when you help her, you help yourself. And Barbie's
then
like,
Ken
all right,
accidentally
cool.
goes with her.
Yeah, Ken wants to go with her, and then he brings his rollerblades because he literally goes nowhere without them.
Absolutely.
So they can, so they
I
go.
love that we talk about only the important parts of this movie.
Yes. So they go into the real world, and then she thinks the entire time it's this girl Sasha, but it's not Sasha. It's
her
actually her mom.
mom who's been missing. She's
Just
kind of
wanted to
missing
be
Sasha.
Yeah, she wants to reconnect with her daughter, and she's like, "This is the last time that we had this connection is when we
Yeah.
played with the Barbie dolls."
And she played with the Barbie doll herself, and she wasn't happy, and that's why Barbie started becoming more human.
Yeah, and she started making drawings of like
Yeah.
sad, depressed Barbie.
We're doing a recap just because if Maya forces Felix to watch this episode. Felix.
Felix, listen up.
Felix, listen up.
So, but I feel like she already made him watch it. Probably.
She did not.
Really? Okay.
He kept, but he did say 20 times when we were talking about the movie that it sounds like a great movie.
Yeah, 20 times separately talking about the Barbie movie.
The 12 hours of talking about the Barbie movie.
Yes.
He was like, that sounds like a good movie.
He's like, I feel like I've already watched it.
No, I can't wait to go to Vienna because we did talk about a lot of media that like we want to play a lot of games and watch a lot of movies. But like with the 3 days, it had to be like a lot of
Yeah,
like let's walk, let's just
yeah.
So but Ken gets introduced to radadi radada
Patriarchy and
is
horses.
where men and horses rule everything.
Yes.
And then it's Ken goes back into Barbie world and he fucks it up by introducing patriarchy into it. let's not say because the emotional, like the more thoughtful part will come later.
Yes.
And then Barbie comes and she's like, "What the fuck, patriarchy?"
Yeah. This is
She
my dream
gives up,
house. It's not Ken's dream house. It's Barbie's dream house.
but no, it's the Mojo Dojo Casa
But
house.
you don't need to say dojo and mojo and casa and house.
But say it. It sounds it's fun to say.
Mojo dojo casa house.
Anyways,
God.
so then the Barbies are all brainwashed because it's the first time they've.
And I love, you know what I did notice about that part until now is that it wasn't a thing of, oh, these Barbies are so dumb. It's like they didn't develop defense mechanisms
Yeah,
against this.
yeah,
Because manipulation never
they
existed
literally
before.
say like it's like indigenous people with smallpox.
Yeah.
They've
Never had, yeah.
never had it, so
Never
they
experienced manipulation, never experienced like being
so they were like,
brainwashed.
oh, okay,
Sure.
kind of gullible in a way
Yeah.
because like, oh, this is the first time we're experiencing a system that's other than our own.
Yeah.
So, and then
The only way to break out the brainwashness is to
is to be woke.
yes.
To explain
The
like
woke mob will
explain
get you.
feminism.
Yes,
kind of like
to bring them aside and to break this kind of like imagery of what it is to be like, hey, this is what men are like, this is what women are like, this is what's happening.
This is what you're expected
Yeah.
to be as a woman, and then they remember what their womanhood was.
Yeah, and how like
And it's a great scene. My favorite is Emma Mackey's Barbie, the one from Sex Education, going like she's in a maid outfit. She's like, "What am I wearing? I'm a scientist." And then she goes like, "Do you want pens?" She goes, "Yeah." So happy.
yeah, I
We'll
love
talk a lot about the like a lot of
Yeah.
important parts of the movie.
um
But then they like manipulate Kens into having a war instead of going voting.
yeah,
So
and the way they did it is the best thing in the world.
we will talk about
We'll talk about it.
And at the end, the Barbies win. But like our main Barbie, Margot Robbie, their typical Barbie, she wants to be a human.
Yes.
She doesn't feel like a Barbie anymore.
Mm-mm.
She,
Maybe I'm not Barbie anymore.
and then Ruth Handler comes in, and she's
The
the
creator.
creator of Barbie.
Yeah.
And yeah, she haunts. But my favorite thing is the explanation, like, yes, I'm Ruth Handler. I'm the creator of Barbie, and Will Ferrell, who's like the CEO of Mattel, he goes
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, she's haunting like
Third
an
floor.
office on the third floor.
There's no other explanation
Yeah.
for it. It's just like, yeah, she's just up there,
She's haunting an office on
and
the third
all of the world was like, okay,
floor." Okay,
sure, makes sense to me.
No, there's the other guy from Sex Education. I mean, there's three people from Sex Education, but the white boy from Sex Education, he was the only one asking questions, and I love.
Yeah, and I loved him too because it's like, so is it like they live in a different
So
world?
Barbie Land, is it an actual place or is it like an imaginative place where?
Yes. There's no. Yes.
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 That doesn't matter.
And it's the movie also going like,
No.
don't be. It's such a man thing to be like,
How does this make sense?
but what's Barbie Land?
Yeah. How does that connect to the real world?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
But in like Perfect Blue, is it like how is she seeing herself? Like, is it was it Rumi the whole time? Fuck up.
Shut up.
Me imagining somebody making a comment towards Perfect Blue.
Never happened. Nobody said it.
Absolutely.
And you were like,
Everybody-
fuck you.
Everybody loves Perfect Blue.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Punching nobody.
Um,
So Barbie decides to actually become human.
yes. And in the most gut-wrenchingly beautiful way.
We will talk about it. So, what are important scenes for the movie for you?
You know that part from like the beginning and then to, like to the end?
Ah,
So like I have to make this as real as possible. So you know that like the bits.
I really was like, there's no way she's gonna make that. Oh, she made that joke. Okay. What are important aspects of them that you want to talk about?
Okay. The first really genuinely beautiful moment for me in the movie was her seeing the world when she was on the bench and she was sitting there and crying, and she sees the like people around her and like seeing this dynamic she hasn't seen before, because Barbie Land is very like, I get up, I just do stuff.
Barbie. Let's talk about Barbie Land 1st.
Mhm.
Barbie Land is this is this world that women made up.
Yeah.
It's like it's perfect, and it's like, but of course it isn't perfect because nothing is perfect, and it's like from the Ken's perspective, they lead very
Yeah.
poor lives. But like it on the surface, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's pink, it's sparkly,
Yeah,
and they're all dancing and having fun all the time. There is no essence of any kind of emotion that isn't good,
yeah,
you know?
and but like at that point, like the Barbie Land portion, there's a lot of like little quips,
Mm-hmm.
little moments that are so
Yeah.
like, oh my god, like about feminism and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. There's we both love when the leader Barbie goes like, not president, but like a politician Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I have no trouble handling both emotion
Oh,
and
yeah.
intelligence,
Intelligence. And it
and it does
doesn't make
not.
me
Yeah, it
weaker.
doesn't
Yeah.
make me less of a leader, but it adds to it.
Yeah. And it's, and then Barbie
But
just winks at
it's
her.
on your nose enough because at some point feminism should be on the nose because men don't get it.
Exactly. It's a very like, it's always been like, well, what if a woman is a president and then she has her period and then she starts a war?
Yeah.
That's an
And that's like the
actual thing
worst
a
men.
woman said.
And
A
that's like
woman
the
said.
okay, so that's like the worst like that's like, oh, you're sexist.
Yeah.
But then like a non-sexist who is not well versed in like the world
Yeah.
of feminism, they would go like, I this happened to me
Mm-hmm.
where I went like, does it really happen that often that men tell you to smile?
Yeah.
And that's like an I just don't know this world.
Yeah.
And then it like these little quips to make you think because sometimes it just has to be like, hey, this is the fact.
Yeah.
This is and Barbie Land is extremely funny, extremely beautiful, and there's those like fucking the president comes on
Mm-hmm.
and she's a black woman and
Mm-hmm.
the song goes like Black Barbie president,
President
Black Barbie
Barbie, and I'm
president.
like, Kamala, Kamala
You
Harris.
didn't you couldn't wait to
I
say
couldn't
that.
wait.
Like,
It was so like Black Barbie president, if she doesn't play that when she wins, um, oh, I so would. Anyway,
um no, so it's this.
no, there's a lot like in the beginning of the movie. There's a lot of that being so like women can lead and also have emotions, and that's okay. And then to
Yeah,
have
it's
like,
on the nose.
yeah,
It's
very like
funny how
on
to
the
the
nose.
point it is. It's
Yeah,
funny how like
it really.
and the whole movie that part is funny because of over exaggeration.
Yeah,
Barbie, can I come stay over tonight? Oh, yeah, I don't really have anything but blank. Just a huge blowout party with all the Barbies and a bespoke spunk. You should stop by.
yeah, and it's.
Who's your favorite non Margot Robbie Barbie?
I think the Doctor Barbie just because she's so intense about
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. So for me, it's the Doctor Barbie and Literature Barbie
Mm-hmm.
because they're both, and I told you this, they act in the scene where Ken decides to surf and then like hurts something,
Yeah,
and
falls.
then she goes like, "Not even broken. You're gonna be." And the way they talk to him is so funny to me. It's Ken going like, "My job is just beach,"
Beach.
and then the Doctor Barbie goes like, "And what a good job you do at
Yeah, it's
beach."
very like your toddler fell and you're trying to like play it off as like, oh, nothing happened.
Yeah,
So he
what a,
doesn't start crying.
yeah, what
Like,
a good job. You
what
do
a
at
good job
beach.
you do it.
And then Literature Barbie goes like, "You'll heal in no time." Actually, and the time it took me to say that sentence, you healed, and I'm like, that is. How did nobody ever write that?
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
so
funny.
funny. Yeah.
Um,
Oh God. And but the
so now she's in
first,
the real world.
yeah, she's like, I'm
That's
getting
that's your
like,
first.
yeah, and even in like all of her problems in the Barbie world seem so meaningless when she's in Barbie world because
Yeah.
it's like, do you guys ever think about dying?
She's
And
never
then
like. Can we talk about the political economic state of the world
yeah,
right
she's
now?
like, what is happening to me?
Yeah.
Very like dumbly
The
being like,
the
oh my god, cellulite,
oh the biggest problem that where she goes to the real world is so she doesn't get cellulite.
cellulite. So
That's
it's
where I
that.
fell in love with the movie.
Hmm.
That's where
That's where they get me. So the big, also a big plot line
we
is
didn't
her.
ask the important question: is the movie about motherhood?
Oh yes, it
Yes, it
is.
is. It's
Yes,
so
it is.
there's not like except Sasha and her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Except that there's no real like huge mothership dynamic, but the movie is
It's
about
so,
motherhood
and it's.
because a lot of womanhood, and I respect the women who don't want to be mothers, and
Mhm.
that's okay. But so much of what women are
Yeah,
mothers
and it's
because
done in such a beautiful way where they told every story of a woman,
yeah,
and that is a big part of it, and they didn't want to ignore it just to be like feminism.
yeah,
Women don't have to be mothers.
yeah.
Like you have that's an experience of being a woman or being
Yeah.
somebody's daughter or
Because like it's. I mean, I hate to use a Marvel quote, but like Doctor Strange going like Wanda. I hate Marvel, by the way, just so everybody knows. I
we've
just.
been we've been
But really a powerful quote of Doctor Strange going like, Wanda, your children are really just created and using magic, and Wanda going like, that's what every mother does. And then the gif under that of Anne Hathaway applauding
laughing.
with like tears going down her face. Um,
No, there's something truly beautiful about the experience, and it's in so much depth. It's not just being like, okay, I'm a mom, I take care of this thing, it's
yeah,
whatever. It's such an extension of you, and also like fatherhood in itself is like it's a separate emotion, it's a separate
yeah,
feeling, something
definitely,
mothers will never understand.
definitely, and it's a whole nother story. And
Yeah,
if you made the point of like, oh, why wasn't fatherhood mentioned? Mentioning fatherhood in this movie would really undermine the point of fatherhood.
yeah,
Like there's a lot of points of femininity, not
hmm
feminism, just pure femininity that are mentioned in the Barbie movie that aren't undermined with the inclusion of like motherhood being a very important part
yeah,
of the movie. But mentioning that would just be like, and also men deserve rights.
yeah. Literally, so it wasn't a part of this story, but I'm saying like in general it's such a like being a parent is such a unique experience and it's
Yeah,
unique to everyone, and it's like
and we would know.
we would know because we have a dog. Yeah, but it's really like remember that time where he escaped and we were both chasing him in our
And
own
yeah,
ways.
yeah, yeah, and
That was the perfect like
it's such
imagery
an
of
example because Selma used her brain.
yeah. I was like, how can I get him the fastest? And
So
I
our
was so
dog
like,
escaped, and he's a very rowdy. He will not escape to a point where we can't see
no,
him,
he's always like 5 meters around you, but
but he
never
doesn't
enough to
want to
get
come back home.
yeah,
And it's the stress of like he's gonna jump at a car's gonna hit him, he's gonna bite a person. Like
yeah,
it's
something, yeah,
because like he will protect our yard, and then if
yeah,
somebody passes by, so it's a high stress situation.
yeah.
My instinct is run.
Yeah, run
Like
towards him. I must get him.
yeah, I
And I'm
must.
like, I need to think like, so I'm like, I'm gonna run away so he chases me, and I'm gonna pick up this thing so he chases the thing, and then when he goes to grab the thing, I'll grab him. Like it's a very like calculated thing. And for you, it was instinctual to just run after him, and
Yeah,
I think that's such
and
a like,
it's an instinct because
yeah,
it's not like
yeah, and that it's in a second. We both
yeah.
just went.
you know.
So it's very like that's fatherhood and that's
Yeah,
motherhood,
yeah, yeah.
and
Exactly.
it's like men will go above and beyond and be like, I have to protect and I will take a bullet,
Yeah.
and a mother is like, I
I
will
will
figure out a way
I
because
will I will throw a batarang to get the gun out of his hand.
I will figure out how to make that bullet ricochet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like and the bullet ricochets into a Muppet who gets killed.
Yes.
And then the daughter grows up and she has purple hair.
Has purple hair. You're doing the Muppets movie. I mean,
It's watched two
the cartoon.
episodes ago.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, motherhood was a big aspect of this movie,
It absolutely is. And
and it's not
I mean
about
the
motherhood.
the biggest aspect of this movie is femininity and female power.
Yeah, and what it's like to be a human. I think it's. I mean, as much as like people really do want to be like, because yes, patriarchy. The word patriarchy was said 17 times across the movie.
Absolutely.
Genuinely 17 times. Like one of the right wing guys who was like, "Fuck Barbie," made it a point to be like, and I counted. They said 17 times. The fucking Ben Shapiro guy, whatever.
Yeah.
But so
God, I want to fuck him.
with the yarmulke, be
Yeah,
naked
that-
with the yarmulke on.
Yes, yes,
I know
that's
you.
you get me.
Yeah. So it's I get why people are very like it's about family. I genuinely more so what's important is just the beauty of being a human and the
Compassion of humanity.
yeah.
And the movie, I can say this as a man who sometimes has expressions that are very men's rights.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a gay man who grew up with a lot of girlfriends, but I'm
Yeah.
also a man. So like I understand why men are sometimes conflicted and confused and angry.
Yeah.
And because
But Ken is the perfect representation of
Ken
that.
is definitely the perfect representation of that. But a thing that isn't mentioned in the movie because it's such a heavy topic is the like because this is like fatherhood. This should be a topic for a whole
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Yeah.
Is the weaponization of feminism.
Okay.
So like women like mean girls and shit like that
Mm-hmm.
using feminism as a way to be like
I never
to,
did
to
anything wrong.
I never did anything wrong,
And if you say I did, you're just
as a way to belittle men.
yeah.
And also, it's a valid point that some women do not have the patience to explain feminism to a
Yeah.
man. And I don't like the idea of like, oh, you can just look it up yourself. You need a starting point
Yeah.
to continue your education
Yeah.
into this.
But it also it depends on the man. There some men will listen, some men just won't.
Yeah,
But
that's the
if you're
thing.
fed up with that man, sure, be
Yeah, I
fed up
get
with
it,
that
but
man.
it's so the movie doesn't mention that because it's a very layered problem.
Yeah.
A lot about feminism is a very layered problem, but Barbie isn't concerned with feminism and the patriarchy.
Hmm.
Barbie's concerned with being human.
Being human and how tough and hard it is to navigate emotions, especially if you're coming into them for the first time, and how different it is for men and for women. You
Yeah,
seek, and I get like I think Ken is the perfect. I said it. I'll say it again. Perfect representation for how
yeah,
men go through it and how women go
yeah.
through it. Because
Because Ken has no idea,
yeah,
but so much information is dumped onto Barbie.
yes. So it's like Ken just going around being like, "I feel great," and Ken and Barbie being like, "What's happened?" Like
Yeah, it's
being so like concerned about everything, and then also Ken for the first time ever having to like realize
having
something, but
rights.
yeah, but it's such a like, oh, I'm around all of these men who treat me great because I too am a man.
Yeah,
What is this? I love this.
and
There
I
is no
love
need for
this.
me to change it.
And it gets to a point of like they're like probably a lot of so this is like a good representation of men and women, and probably a lot of men think the same thing is happening to you. Like if you're a man that like other men are attracted, not attracted to sexually, but like oh you're cool,
Yeah, you're the guy.
and then you see the same um a woman also being the center of
Hmm.
attention. A man who doesn't understand what women went through would be like, why aren't you flattered?
Yeah,
Why
why
aren't
aren't you
you,
happy
like,
about this?
yeah,
Yeah,
why aren't you happy about this? Like Ken got even ogled by gay men, but still there's no like,
yeah, he's
because there's
so
a
like,
scene where like the guy, ooh,
ooh,
love
love
that,
that. Yeah,
and then but there's no like he said, there's absolutely no undertone of violence, and then
yeah,
Barbie goes like, by me, there's definitely an
the
undertone
tone
of
of violence.
violence.
Yeah, and it's very that and it's how differently girl, and it's very like it's mostly with Ken, but with Barbie too. It's like how little boys are brought up
Yeah,
essentially.
little boys are protected
Yeah,
so deeply.
and so you're growing up into this world where everything is somewhat going to your favor, so you don't get the thought to change it because
Yeah,
it doesn't. I wouldn't. I know
yeah,
that. You know.
and then people who need the world to change want to change this world, and you're like, why does it need
Why
to
would
change?
you?
I am
Everything is great.
comfortable.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm great.
comfortable. How
Everything.
dare you?
Yeah.
And it's and we are lucky enough to be surrounded with a lot of men who are. I mean, some men are. They don't need to be taught because they're already like deprogrammed, so to say.
Hmm.
They're like my mother works and my dad cooks.
Yeah.
They took care of like there's
Yeah, but that's the thing. That happens if you're brought up in that. So when
yeah.
you grow up, you're like, yeah, this is how it should
And
be.
then somebody explaining feminism to them is like, I thought that was
Yeah, that
that
was
was
just the
normal.
world.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was just whatever. But then we also have a lot of men who did listen and did hear
Yeah.
everybody out and did like and also like with
Like
homosexuality
Alan.
is a lot like
Oh,
Alan,
Alan. We love Alan.
Alan,
Alan is the best.
Alan. God, Alan,
God, Alan.
Alan. He just really cares for Ken,
Yeah, and
but
he's
he also
genuinely
cares for himself a lot.
yeah, and he cares about like Alan. Alan is the archetype of an empathetic man.
Yeah,
That's what that's what
yeah,
all men should be
yeah.
essentially.
No, there's. I don't know because I've never been a woman. Oh. But women have to, I feel, face femininity so early on,
Yeah,
while men have to face masculinity so late in life.
yeah, and then you get confused as to what it is.
Yeah,
What is
definitely.
being a man? And then it's
What
like,
is
well, you have to fight. Like,
and
well,
then
no, you
it's like,
don't.
what does your father say? What is
Yeah,
because there are like even through feminism, like not being like women should cook, women should clean. Through feminism, there are rigid. I mean, not rigid, but like there are kind of rules to like
yeah,
what kind of what it means to be a woman, what it means to be
Yeah,
like
and
the,
also from the very like the earliest points of your life, you are taught to be afraid of men
yeah.
because some men.
It's kind of coded into you
Hmm.
because like let's take it from homosexuality. Um, so it's like first like some people could think like, oh, it's your mother telling you be afraid
Hmm.
of men. When you're a gay kid, you
Yeah.
instantly know not to tell people.
Yeah.
And I haven't had the moment of like I'm attracted to Harrison Ford and somebody being like, don't say that.
Yeah. Don't say that. Yeah.
I was just like, I'm attracted to Harrison Ford. He said in his brain.
Yeah.
Sit to Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford. My dick gets like pulsatingly hard like Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And you just know in your head of heads,
Yeah.
like
No. No.
that's a
Yeah.
no no. You don't talk about that.
Yeah.
That is you are weird for that.
Yeah.
You are and then you're brought into this
Be
confusing
like,
world.
yes, you are.
Well, I am weird because I wanted him to break my neck.
Well, yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I should have kept that for myself. Now we're at a problem where I don't keep anything
Yeah,
for
you're
myself.
screaming it from the rooftop. I want that man to fist me, and I'm like, and pull out my intestines.
Intestines, yeah.
I'm like,
I
okay, well,
want
don't say that.
I want him to feed me my spine.
Yeah.
Today we went to the supermarket to get some meat, and
Hmm.
there was just the most charismatic,
Yeah.
mature there ever. He had a little French handlebar mustache, and he was so beautiful that I didn't even comment anything disgusting.
Yeah, you were just like, wow,
Wow.
you are art.
Yeah, like we were in line, and
I didn't mind waiting for 2 hours, genuinely.
some man next to me was like, "Oh, they're waiting," and that was so nice of the man. But I was like, "Shut
Sure,
the fuck up!"
I
Like,
will be lost. Um,
um, but yeah, that's the. So I feel like also in femininity, maybe you have the instinct
yeah, to just
to
be
be
like,
afraid
oh, and then I know it's so weird, and then you again, I keep coming back to like the cat aspect of it all because it's so overlooked in when people do talk about Barbie, it's always like, "Oh, Barbie," like
of. Yeah,
the big speech that America gave and all that. Like, and it's all like, yes, of course, but like the way they wrote his character is so important to me because I'm like, this is exactly my point. Like when you
yeah.
talk about men, it's like it's either like you have the aggressive men who are like, I will do harm to women, and then you have the Allens of the world who are like, I get it, I did it, like
I
the
get both sides.
yeah, the final boss of the men.
I care about Ken, and I understand
Barbie,
Barbie.
exactly.
But
And then you have these lost boys
yeah,
who are just trying to piece it all together to be like,
like
what do I
what the
do?
fuck is this world?
Yeah, and
Everything's been handed to me.
yeah,
Everything's been like explained, which is weird because like Ken are in these positions where they're like not in power, but they're just reverting to child being childlike
yeah,
and not being like aggressive about it or anything.
hmm,
So they have that moment of like that's malehood being like I don't it's the scene from Family Guy where I think somebody was like non-binary or
uh-huh,
something and then like Peter starts just saying things that don't make sense at all. It's
hmm,
like, oh, what place?
okay,
And then Brian goes like, "What are you talking about?" He goes like, "I don't know what the world is anymore." And
yeah,
it's bad. It's like
yeah,
you don't know where you stand because it's a system that works for you,
yeah,
and you see some women being happy in the system,
hmm,
and then you're like, "Well, shouldn't can we all be that? Can
yeah.
we all just move on with like?"
No, and it's just it's him coming into, and then you have also the fucking I really like this is gonna be 14 hours long. The aspect of him seeing horses and being like, yes, this is patriarchy. Just it's a perfect representation of how men are confused about
Yeah,
when and there's so many words that are so like blanket statements
yeah,
at this point where it's like patriarchy doesn't mean anything anymore.
yeah.
Saying like the
It's people in power will never be good people.
yeah. And there is no point in like, and then if you even try to get deeper into it, it's still like, if you say gaslighting, everyone's like, shut up about gaslighting. What is gaslighting? You
And
know?
there's the thing of like sometimes some statements of feminism are so made to hurt
Yeah.
that like and it I get it when it's a debate of somebody who's not listening to and
Mm-hmm.
not so like the famous guy going like well the high suicide rates are man
Yeah. And who
and
said
then
that
the
was?
woman goes like who set that system and it's like when I hear that who
Yeah.
would have, because I know that that man was like, I'm not listening to you. I'm
Yeah.
devaluing your
Yeah.
opinion, and I'm and then her saying that it's like
Let's get to the
you
point.
are
Yeah.
breaking. You are
Yeah.
like being okay. Now I'm being mean,
Yeah.
but then I hear that out of context because it's
Hmm.
posted everywhere, and I get mad, but like mad to be like, I can calm down and understand what the point was, but then some other men are just like, why is this woman who I don't know shitting on me?
Yeah.
Why is this? Because also men feel powerless at some points,
Yeah.
like the ignoration of like mental health or like the rape rates within men where like they were raped by women and
Hmm.
like nobody gives a shit,
Yeah.
and then they try to talk about it, but then on the internet they see these like blanket statements thrown
Yeah.
around that aren't about them but
Yeah.
like about like people who are very hurtful,
Yeah.
but then they go like, what the fuck did I do
Yeah.
to deserve this?
Yeah.
What, like, am I a person in power? Am
Yeah.
I
Am I a woman? I'm a man with no power. Does that make me a woman?
am I a person in history
Yeah. Who did that?
who did that to me?
No, but that's the thing. It's like you have to understand it to understand where it's coming from and to
Yeah.
then be able to break the cycle. You can't,
Yeah,
because it's always like a cat and mouse game where it's like women are being like somebody, because it's very rare to see a man bring up a man issue without being provoked by a woman talking about women issues.
absolutely. But
That's
then
the problem.
no, because there it's a bigger beast of the way that internet regurgitates information.
Okay.
Because like I've been with many men where we didn't talk about any female topics at all,
Mhm.
but it's just like I genuinely feel I can't
Yeah.
talk to anybody and I'm
Yeah.
mentally not in a good space. And then nowadays they feminism is mentioned more because is like so much of the internet is just there to trigger you.
Yeah.
They everybody just wants a response,
Yeah.
a
Click and a
click,
fast and a
a
yeah.
comment, anything like that.
Yeah.
I got into a fight about The Last of Us on the internet today. Like
Yeah.
I know what it does to a person,
Yeah.
you know? And, and then it's helping nobody because it's not misinformation, it's out of context clips being shared and
Yeah.
out of con and then these men who are lost, who are sad, who
Hmm.
feel powerless,
Yeah.
they're being taught be angry at this.
Yeah. Be
And not
either.
at the system that's fucking you up, patriarchy.
Yeah. Be angry at the woman who said it.
Be
Be
angry
angry
at
at
feminism.
feminism.
Because feminism isn't going for matriarchy either.
Yeah. It's just.
A good feminist understand that matriarchy also isn't a end all be all. Good
Yeah.
point. Because like Barbie Land isn't perfect
Yeah.
because of the way they treat the Kens
Yeah.
and the way where do the Kens live? I never
I
thought
don't
about it.
know. And it's being and it's but it's such a like you have to really pay attention to that side
Yeah.
of the points to like
Because you get so much you
you
get
get so into the fun
into
of
it.
it,
It's fun.
and it's
But
like
then
haha
also like
funny. I don't know where Ken's
but
live.
let's just not like not even just Ken's like are the problem. I mean, not are in the problematic area
Yeah.
there. Barbie never feels the comfort to say like Ken is not my partner.
Yeah. It's like
Ken is not
yeah.
somebody I want to be with.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I'm girl, I
He
have
boy.
Ken, you
Yeah.
know, like
And
it's
that's we just
Barbie and
roll with
Ken.
it. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the entire time he's like, but then also him being so like, I have to, my whole existence is about you.
Yeah.
I exist
Because
because
like
of you.
even legitimately Ken was created for Barbie.
Yeah.
Like in
So
the
in the
toy
quite literal
universe.
way,
Yeah.
yes. And it's also him being so, but it's also, I don't think even for him, it's never been about Barbie. It was like, hate Ken. I
Yeah.
need to prove myself to
It's a
Ken.
lot of attention from other
Men,
males.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like I need to prove myself to Ken by getting Barbie, but then also having this. But he did love her
Yeah.
after, like he did want to be with her. But then where did
And
that come from?
and
Did you
that's why
just want to be with her because you're supposed to be with her?
at the end he was so antagonistic because he
Yeah,
loved her and he got hurt.
yeah. By her being like,
And then in when he saw the patriarchy, he understood I
I can get her back, and it was about getting her back.
no,
Quote
but like
unquote.
before the meaning the patriarchy, he wasn't hurt. But then seeing that the patriarchy exists, he's like,
Mhm.
I have the right to be hurt.
Yeah,
And that's also a big thing about like a lot of people have these problems. I know that I do. That it's like, and everybody in our generation is talking about it. No, none one of us is allowed to feel anger
yeah,
or cry or sadness.
yeah.
Oh, why are you crying? You shouldn't cry.
You
You should
shouldn't
be
cry.
thankful.
Yeah,
So it's the same way that it's like Kens are just like I'm happy and I am good in the system and ja ja ja.
yeah,
And then they realize that there's other options,
Yeah.
but then they meet the worst version of that other
Yeah.
option. So they get fucking
Yeah, they get
horrific.
yeah.
And what's your favorite joke from the movie?
This whole started with you asking what's one of the most important parts, like one of the most important scenes, and I didn't even get to say it.
What's the most important scene?
When
You're
Barbie
so
got
beautiful.
to the real world and she was sitting and she was looking at the world and seeing how human beings interact with each other, and it's not this picture perfect scene of everything,
Yeah.
and people do age and people fight and people, but you have like beautiful scenes like somebody playing with their dog or whatever,
There's two men just earnestly laughing.
laughing, and it's
And
so
then I
beautiful.
mentioned this to you. I love that movies recently love to throw in like very real scenes of couples fighting
Yeah.
where it's like you're not listening to me, and then the man is like, I am
Right.
right here.
I am right here.
I am here and I am not deaf. I am listening
Listening
to
to
you.
and then what's her name? Like real name.
From the
The old lady's name, yeah.
no, that was a hoax.
Really?
Yeah. That it's like like a
Costume
costume
designer?
designer. No, that was a hoax.
Why are you telling me these things? Doesn't matter. It's this really old lady sitting on a bench and she's just reading her newspaper, and then Barbie looks at her and goes like earnestly with the full heart going like, "You're beautiful." And then the old lady goes, "I know it."
And
And then
it's
they
not a point of like, who are you to tell me I'm beautiful? It's
yeah,
like, thank you,
yeah. I know
and
it.
I
I
know
know
it,
it.
you
But
know?
in a very beautiful I know
I
it.
know it.
And
No,
then they
because
both like have a little giggle, and it's so oh my god, I was like everything I've ever wanted to see in an interaction, it's
yeah.
this.
No, because there is a problem with being like, you shouldn't thank people, and people telling you about your
Mhm.
looks, it's bad and you should
Yeah.
but she doesn't go like, fuck you, I know
Yeah.
it. She's just like,
I
I
know
know it.
it.
Like, I thank
No,
you.
and it's also like a point to be like, because her whole thing is like, I'm freaking out about cellulite, and I need to go fix it before I get cellulite. And her
And it's this
seeing,
like old lady, like wrinkles are there.
yeah,
She's
and seeing the real world for what it is, and seeing all these like quote unquote flaws of people, and being so like, I love this about you.
and that woman is
I'm
so
accepting
beautiful
of that.
because the way she looks at her and perks up,
Yeah,
like I don't know, her eyes have so much life. They
yeah,
really got a great actress to,
yeah.
because she turns her eyes, she's so
Yeah,
full of life.
yeah. Sleep it.
We're both doing this teary eyed. It's a great movie. I So like I said, I love that a lot of Barbie Land is quips. So there was a lot of like, um, here you go, Barbie, the Nobel Prize. I worked hard for this and I deserve this.
Yeah, and then when they brought when after the patriarchy ensued in the Barbie land as well,
They try to remind the Barbie like, this is your Nobel Prize. And she's like,
I
oh
want to
my god,
thank Ken.
I want to thank Ken. I don't know how I got here.
Yeah,
And it's and she goes like, this is for you, and she's like, I know.
yeah, yeah.
And it's all of that. But then I think the real beauty goes when they go into the real world. And what was the thing? Like, what joke did I really love? I mean, there's a lot of jokes. Barbie is a prime example of a movie can have so many messages and
Mm-hmm.
so much meaning
And so funny.
without being the Schindler's List.
Yeah,
You know,
you can have like a
you can have fun and adventure and
yeah,
whimsy. You can be a movie and a film. You can be
yeah,
entertainment and art.
exactly. And it can be so like because if you like just point blank watch a movie without a single thought in your head, you'll still have fun because it will be
Yeah.
cutesy and fun and
And
hee
there's
hee.
gonna be so many jokes.
So many and it's still like great. It's a great experience even for people who don't want to,
Yeah.
do this.
Like, yeah. We don't want to do 16 episodes about this movie.
Yeah.
Like next week we're gonna do Barbie, but just the character of Barbie.
Yeah. Um.
But it's such a funny way, such an impactful way. And I'm of the same agreement as you, like her coming into the real world and seeing that. It's a beautiful scene.
No, but in the end, realizing too, like I don't want to live in this picture perfect.
Yeah.
Like everything is always good because then.
Without putting down the other Barbies for
Yeah,
wanting
for
to
wanting to
stay
stay.
Barbie.
She was just like, I'm not Barbie anymore. I don't feel that way
Yeah.
anymore. And even though they were other Barbies too were introduced to this idea. They were like, "No, I love it here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stay."
And there's
She
of
was the
course
one who
there's
was like,
also Kens who are like, I just want to be with my friend Barbie, and
"Yeah,
then there was Barbie who was like, and I want to be with you,
yeah," and they're just like, "Great,
but
let's hang
without
out."
being in the way there were before. Like
Yeah,
he was a boss and she was subservient.
yeah.
But let's talk about the funny aspects of Barbie
Okay.
because I mean we got to talk about one more aspect, one more like emotionally good aspect of Barbie. The and this one, there's not a lot of meaning here. It's just so emotional, like that Ruth named Barbie after her
Daughter
tearing up, and the moment of like Barbie deciding to become not an idea but a person
who creates ideas.
who creates ideas, and then like we see this beautiful montage, and this is a part of the movie that there's no like deeper meaning.
Yeah,
There's no like there's nothing to think about really.
yeah.
It's just the beauty of two people talking, like and and we also gotta talk before we talk about the comedic aspects of
Mhm.
Barbie because we gotta end it on that. You know, we
Okay.
gotta. That's a fun little cute ending.
Yeah.
Um, the experience of seeing Barbie for the first time, it was completely magical because first you're watching this movie for the first time that's
Mhm.
so good and so amazing. And then it's a movie theater filled with people dressed in
Yeah.
pink and everybody's saying hi Barbie to each other
Yeah,
and
nothing is
everybody
gonna happen again that's gonna be like that. It was a
absolutely
unique, beautiful experience.
yeah
It's so nice.
and it comes to the point it's gonna be like the future generations like Rocky Horror Picture Show
Hmm.
where now it's still played in cinemas and
Yeah.
people come dressed up as the characters and
Yeah.
everybody quotes the movie. But the first and I remember that scene came on of like her deciding to become a human and her getting the heartbeat and it's a montage of like women's lives
Yeah.
and it starts with like oh childbirth like very important things
Yeah.
but then it ends up just being like a woman doing her makeup and like winking at the
Yeah.
camera and it's and then like somebody's crying and then like it explains and she never for once had a vision of a man because that is not what her life is going to be.
Yeah.
She is because women have this one specific like this not all exactly the same but
But unique experience.
this
That's so
unique
unique. Yeah.
experiences of a woman and she sees that and she decides I'm going to become a human and we live in buttfuck nowhere Netherlands.
Yeah.
People do not care about good art. People
Yeah.
like I was in the cinema watching fucking like I don't know what's like a good movie from recently that's like serious and shit like that. We were in the movie watching Nightmare Alley
Mhm.
like that Guillermo del Toro movie,
Yeah.
and there was two girls just constantly on their phones and talking, and it's like
Shut up.
I am not a full like movie theater Grinch. If it's
Mhm.
a funny movie, fucking laugh.
Yeah.
If it's a shitty movie and like everybody in like in the audience agrees
Yeah.
it's a shitty movie, like let's all just
Yeah.
laugh with it. But like when it's like most of the movie theater is silent and there's a few talkers, it's
Mhm.
horrendous. But here there was that scene, silence and sobs
Yeah.
were heard.
You
It
just
was
hear like
yeah
every now and then, and it's so
because
and her
it's
being
so
too
real.
like I can't consciously let you do this without you seeing what it means
Yeah,
to become this person, to become a person.
yeah.
And that's the whole point of the movie for me. It's not this like grand woke Grinch of
Oh,
feminism and
it's
fuck men.
the movie is so not woke. The movie
Yeah.
loves both men and women.
Mhm.
The movie is in such deep love of men and women.
Yeah.
The movie loves
Humanity.
humanity
Thank you.
so deeply
Yeah.
and people are because somebody mentioned the patriarchy they
Yeah,
were
they're
like
like, ooh, that's what
oh
I'm
this is
saying.
a
These are
men-hating movie
trigger words. That's my
yeah
problem with it. Is like you will hear something, and if you are on the side of like Twitter lore, like
yeah
if your brain is so wired to now be like, whenever I hear patriarchy or feminism or whatever,
also like the internet prepares you to watch a movie like that
yeah,
because if you're from that side of the internet it will be like oh Barbie's a woke movie and then you'll walk into Barbie being like this is a woke movie
yeah,
and fuck this and
exactly. And it's just, I feel bad because for people like that, because you're missing out on the grand picture of things, which is, yes,
not
you
just with
could
Barbie, with like movies in
in
general,
general, yeah,
with so many aspects, you're just so like media illiterate
yeah,
that you just want a self-serving story.
yeah.
You
And
just
you
want
want
a
your
story that
story to be
agrees with
told.
you,
Yeah.
that is completely and 100% the
Yeah.
same experiences that you're having. Because like Barbie also isn't like some feminists will hate Barbie the
Hmm.
movie. Some feminists will be like, why do you have compassion towards men?
Oh yeah, and also be like, it's so like face like
Surface
surface
level.
level,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's like some people need surface level, some things are
Some
made to be
people
fun.
need surface
And
level.
also, if you only, because then you're the same as people who hear the word patriarchy and get triggered,
Yeah.
because you're looking at it from a surface point of view,
Yeah.
surface level point of view,
Yeah.
because you're not thinking deeper into her saying I
Yeah,
know
like
it, like what that means to her, what that
if one of my friends told me like, do women really have it that harder? Do you think what will be better to be like, women have this like women? There's a problem that women are facing in the world, or being like, well, the systematic oppression of women
yeah,
has started to.
what
What will
better,
reach that person? And then people being like, well, people have the internet. People should learn themselves. Do you? When was the last time you looked up something that
when is the last time you
weren't
cared about the conflict in Cambodia?
absolutely? And when
It
did you
doesn't
look it
affect
up?
you.
Did you
Did
look
you
it up?
look it up? And if
Did you look
somebody
it up?
comes up to you and like, you're supposed to know, like, well, I don't. I never
I
needed to
don't know.
know.
Can
And
somebody
it's like,
explain it to me?
yeah, like,
What?
well, you're
Fuck you.
stupid for not knowing.
Yeah, just Google it.
Google it. Look it up.
And then also like with such a layered issue,
Yeah.
do you think you go like, what is feminism? And then the top search box will be
It's
like,
gonna explain it all.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's so
Wikipedia is here to explain
yeah,
like it's and
the unique issues that
the
women have.
unique issues, and it will explain in a way of that person
Yeah.
understands, and will not just say like boring facts and
Yeah, and be like, oh, it started with the suffragettes movement. um
well, it actually all started way before this.
no, but so I don't know. There's so many things that are perfectly explaining the dynamic between men and women, and also in the end where it's like you see Ken breaking down completely because he's like, first I thought it was me and you need to be together, and then you didn't want that, and that hurt my feelings, and I didn't know what to do with it. Then I was introduced to
and
this real
I
world.
pushed down those feelings, and I continued being like, me and you are boyfriend girlfriend,
Yeah,
and
and
that's
I lived in this delusion that but it, it ate me alive, and then I went into the real world, seen that I could rule things and get you back, or like I can be this. Came back, changed your Mount Rushmore from Barbies to horses, and now I rule this place.
yeah. And
And
then turns out I'm the villain.
yeah, and like so blind to it too.
And like
And then he
Ken
gets to
is
a
the
place.
villain, but he was never treated nicely
Yeah,
throughout the entirety of the movie. He was treated too nicely, but like not to the point where like the Barbies felt like it was their responsibility to be that.
yeah,
Not in like a true like I see you way.
yeah,
And then like whatever you do, you're a villain.
yeah,
And that's also a very male experience.
yeah. But then him coming back like after like towards the end of the movie, and when that point where he breaks down, he's like, I don't know who I am.
I don't know
What
what
am
the
I
fuck.
supposed to do? It's either me and you, or it's me running this thing, and now I'm realizing I can't run it
And
anymore,
there's
and I'm
so
realizing
many
you don't want to be with me. So what do I
and
do?
there's so many men raised like that.
Yeah,
That just I don't know what the fuck I am.
yeah.
I am nothing if I don't have a girlfriend.
And money and cars and like
Yeah,
all this
but like,
crap.
how will you have a girlfriend if you're nothing?
Yeah,
Like, how
if you
will
don't
you
exist as
have
a
a good
person.
relationship if all that you want is a girlfriend? And then it's like, it's also like some men are very like that,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also very nice.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I hope you find like an equally like
Mm-hmm.
dumb wife.
Yeah, and
That's
you all live happily ever
I
after.
just want a husband, and it's like
Yeah.
none of you have interests, and I hope it ends up.
Yeah.
It's like, and you really enjoy watching. She enjoys watching.
CSI Miami.
No, she enjoys what? No. He enjoys watching football. She enjoys watching The Real Housewives, and you
Yes.
both watch CSI Miami.
There you go.
That's
Yeah, you go to work, she makes the lunch, and y'all are happy. And it's
y'all are
great.
happy, and it's fine,
Okay.
and you don't have to have any touch of the real world.
Yeah, have missionary sex once a week, which honestly,
Dude,
dream.
I mean,
Dream life.
come on,
Not the other stuff, but sex once a week, missionary.
jack off in a cup,
Okay.
throw it in his face.
No, but it's that, and then I feel like we talked a lot about Ken, which I like it because it's like I don't think this is a point that's been made a lot.
Yeah. No, we're original.
We're original.
And when the billions of people that listen to us
Hear this, they'll be like, oh,
wow, I have
we are
not-
single-handedly changing the world right now.
I know we're because Barbie single-handedly changed the world, but we are adding something that is not talked
Exactly.
about a lot.
I don't want it to seem like we're minimizing the Barbie aspect of it because it genuinely is the whole like
With the Barbie aspect, it's a lot of just going like, it's a lot of us just going like, we agree,
we
we
agree,
agree,
yeah,
we get it,
yeah.
we get it. With Ken, it's like, it's the situation that we're not in. That it's like,
But although
it's
someone did make a point, which I kind of agree with, which was like, so at the end of the movie, Barbie apologized to Ken,
yeah.
being
But
like,
Ken never apologized to Barbie.
not even like it's so it's him ruining her life, taking over her house, being so like intense about
Yeah,
like being a dick to her this whole time, and then at the end of the movie, she's the one apologizing to him.
yeah.
You know,
But no, that it's because
she has
she
the empathy to understand, and he's still
was
not there.
she was forced to mature, and she was
Yeah,
forced to have like humanity thrust onto her,
yeah,
and he is still so young and fresh, and he
exactly.
doesn't
Because
get it. And maybe in like a few billion years, and maybe in like years and years and years, he
yeah,
could be
he
like,
will have the
I
like.
am now more mature, and I would like to say
I'm
I'm sorry
sorry.
for making you homeless.
Yeah, I'm sorry for making it a Mojo Dojo Casa
me
house.
me being treated badly does
Mhm.
not mean I could have been treated badly
Yeah,
to you. But do like how much of a disconnect would that be if that happened in the
yeah,
movie?
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
It's like okay.
yeah.
So
Anyway.
funny parts of the
Funny
movie.
part. My favorite joke is when they're trying to distract the men to be like, hey, like to distract the women. So they have to distract the man that the woman's speaking, talking to, so they can get the woman and tell
Get
her.
the so they have to get a brainwashed Barbie away from a Ken. So
Yes.
they have to distract a Ken to get the brainwashed
Yes.
Barbie away from.
So one of the ways they did it is, oh, are you guys watching The Godfather?
Oh
And
no
he's
no
like,
no! She
yes,
says, "Are you guys watching The Godfather?"
Godfather. And he's
And
like,
he's like,
Godfather.
"It's Godfather."
And then she's like, oh, I've never seen it. And then he's like, oh, sit down, let me. And then the camera pans away completely from them, and you just hear him go like, let me. No,
No,
she
she
goes,
says.
you should start the movie over and then talked all the way through it.
And it's
The-
also it's mine and Selma's favorite joke, but it's also a very mirroring moment
yes.
of it's good that we watch movies together because like
Yeah.
with a me movie I'll talk over the whole way
Yeah.
through. With a you movie you'll talk over
Yeah.
the whole way through. And with the movie we both like
Silent.
it's a two there's we're turning a 1.5 hour movie into a 4 hour
Yeah,
movie.
just pause every 4 seconds, be like, wow, wow.
Wow. Wow.
So this
No,
thing,
no, no words.
no words, just wow,
Wow, wow,
wow,
what a good movie. Wow.
wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Um,
You didn't react to that?
did you, did you,
How do you feel
yeah,
about that? You did
what's,
so wait, you didn't react to that. Did you not understand or is it not impactful to you?
yeah,
You didn't understand. Okay, let's talk about
let's
it.
talk about it. Yeah, but it's also one of my favorite jokes is let me play the guitar at you.
Let me play the guitar at you.
Is so fun. There's that like I have never you know how like do you remember the first time you saw a meme and you were like, oh my god, so me.
I know exactly
It
what you
brought
mean.
me back to that feeling.
It's that vine of that guy seeing the meme. We're so disconnected from actual feelings
Yes.
that it's like we can't explain a feeling. We kind of it's like, oh, it reminded me of that TikTok that was part 6 of a Vine that a guy did in Cambodia about a meme that was posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
But it's that guy going like the meme is a comic book of a guy like lifting the covers and putting them under his
Uh-huh.
like, and the guy goes like, I do that.
I do that. It's quite that. And it's like I didn't have that feeling since that, like
Yeah.
since the first blanket meme.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, when that happened, let me play the guitar at you. I was so like, oh my god,
Oh my god, it's
so real.
I
Like gagging.
I know exactly what you mean. It's never let a water boy play guitar. I mean, like
God,
Jesus.
there isn't a woman in this world who didn't have the guitar played at her.
And even if she didn't, she knows.
She
She
knows.
knows what
Yeah,
what
because some uncle at a family gathering did.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
She
Like,
knows what's it called? What was the coronavirus? She knows what a pandemic it is.
yes.
That's another great one. And I love a lot of just like the movie at some points is not funny, it's just so charming
Yeah.
that you're like so they get out of their high heels and you see that their legs are like Barbie legs that have to fit
Hmm.
into high heels. And you're like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
And then like
Her
if
floating instead of like walking.
yeah, if that mirror was a real mirror, you'd see a perfect
Like
smile. And
smile.
she's
Yeah.
just like fixing her hair in front of nothing, like
Yeah.
in front of a mirror that's just like the outside part, like there's
Yeah.
not an actual mirror, and her showering and it doesn't have water,
Water,
and
yeah. And then when it does, like, it doesn't, it never has water. And then when she wakes up the other day where things are going badly, like her toast is burned, her
yeah,
bread stinks, her, like, all of these human
her
experiences,
milk is
her
expired,
milk, and
and
then she goes
she
to the
checks. Let me just say, like she checks the milk, and the milk says
expired.
expired.
Yeah. And then she goes to shower and it's still, there's no water, but then she's like, "Oh, it's cold."
Yeah, the same with the milk. She drinks
Yeah, there's
the milk,
nothing.
and there's nothing inside. But
Yeah.
she's like,
Mm.
no. The For me, the moment I laughed at the most in the movie theater, because I get John comedy is not straight up haha funny comedy.
Mhm.
So I found it so funny that all of the Barbie were like, "Hi Barbie, hi Barbie, hi Barbie, hi
Mhm.
Barbie," and Dua Lipa came as a mermaid, and she was like, "Hi Barbie," and then two more Dua Lipas came.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hi Barbies," and all of them were like, "Hi Barbies," and then they go underwater and go, "Bye
Bye,
Barbies," and they
Barbies.
go like, "Bye Barbie," and I was like, them saying bye
Is
is so
hilarious.
funny now.
So funny. Oh.
There's a lot of Ken going like, "Can I do just one appendectomy?"
Can I
No,
do-
no, no. He doesn't ask it. The doctor goes like, "No, I cannot let you do just one
One expected.
appendectomy."
Yeah. It's like, can I talk to a real doctor? It's like, you're talking to a real doctor. Can you get me a coffee? No. And a clicky pen? No.
Yeah.
It's like,
There's a real doctor, and it's
there's
probably
a,
like a male nurse.
yeah. And it's like, and also a white coat. And something sharp. Give me
Something
something
sharp.
sharp.
On your favorite joke, we have to visually explain it. It was him seeing businessmen who
Oh
are
god.
saying like the expectations are reaching expectations, and
ROI, which is return of investment, but just going like
they're
the
just
ROI
words, you
are
know.
is expecting as expected, like, so just
And
words,
then a
just
woman
businessy
walks
words.
up, and the guy goes like waggles his finger at her, being like, "Oh no,
I'll get to you
I'll
later.
get you later." And
Being
then Ken sees that, and he reenacts it like,
yeah, 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 like being like,
"Oh, like
yes,
yeah, that was so
man.
cool."
It's genuinely like a toddler seeing a guy on a bike for the first time, being
Yeah,
like, ooh,
yeah,
yeah,
which is what I am.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would really like to get like a cute little Vespa. Is
Just
that a bike?
because I bought that Lego. The shitty thing about Vespas is we all say Vespa meaning like scooters,
Yes.
but like the actual mark, like Vespa,
Mhm.
you need like a motorcycle license for it.
That's so dumb. No,
I
I
know,
mean,
because it can go faster
yeah,
than
I want a cute little, like, it
like
can
a
only go
scooter.
to 60
Well, you
miles.
have a you have a
Driver's license.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could like save up and get one.
Oh, maybe I will. Because like cars are not for me. I gave it a shot. No.
A scooter and to an extent Vespas, and then like
Yeah.
motorcycles a bit less, but they're just like motorized.
Yeah, you just go and you kind of like wiggle it,
And
and
you
I
have
love
to
that.
know the like laws of the street.
Yeah, which I do know. I don't like operating a car because a car is just too.
It's too big. It's too
It's
complicated.
too big, and I don't like
My
being
I
responsible for
my thing
things.
with cars is I don't like that your leg has to control it,
Yeah,
because my legs get shaky, my legs
yeah.
get like crampy. So like me having to like where I can't fully press the pedal, but I
Mhm.
have to like control it a little bit.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Fuck no.
But me turning my hand a little bit, that's like
Yeah.
I'm fine with like,
Mhm.
that's a good grip I can have.
Yeah.
The music of the
The
movie,
music is perfect.
absolutely
Every song was so
yeah,
good. The song that they picked to sing at the to like play the guitar at them
is
is
pushed by
perfect.
Matchbox 20,
Pushed by Magic, and
and
it's perfect for
I
that type.
and beg you,
Mhm.
if you have not listened to the full album release of Ryan Gosling singing the song, because it's cut off in the movie,
Yeah,
like some parts are like, it is so good,
so
because
good.
she goes like, "I wanna take you for a ground dog."
Da- Oh, perfect.
Said I don't think I have been
Do it
good
enough.
I'm a little bit rusty, and I know and then it cuts to
Hey,
like
yeah.
4 hours later.
Yeah.
Later,
4 hours
he's
later.
still singing at her.
Hilarious.
There's closer I am to find constantly being in the so that's like cool.
And I loved it because the first time we watched it, it flew over my head. But like the second time we watched it in the theater, it was
Wait, how many times? I think three
14. I
times.
don't know.
I think three, and then we're gonna do a fourth, and we were like, it's too
It's
much.
too much. So the second, it's like you see a scene of her singing it of America. What's her name in the movie?
Ah, it's just American
America.
Ferrera.
America Ferrera. Singing it, like humming it, and then it's Barbie in for the first time without ever meeting her.
Yeah,
Barbie in the car singing the song.
yeah, Barbie
So
singing
it's
the
like
song.
it came from her
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to her head, and it's so good.
It's a great movie to rewatch because it's funny, it's emotional, it's everything you should expect from a movie. It's kind of like the musical theater adaptation of Planet of the Apes and The Simpsons show. It's everything that media needs to be.
Everything it needs to be genuinely is.
I think there's probably some other joke that I keep forgetting.
Let me
It's
see.
eating at me. It's fully eating at. Oh, the character Weird Barbie.
Uh huh.
Well, let's talk about the fucking casting of the movie.
Perfect.
Impeccable. There's
Impeccable.
every single type of woman was
Represented.
represented in Barbie Land without being like. So there's a trans Barbie, and I've uh, until like
Until the
later,
internet was like,
un,
hey, she's
she's
trans.
trans. I was never
Never
like, oh,
mentioned.
that's
Yeah.
and it's not a me being like, oh my god, she's so passing, so brave.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I'm
it's
just like,
just
I so didn't like, even if I knew before, like, oh, there's a trans Barbie, I wouldn't be like, oh, is it that one? Is it
it's
that?
that one,
I'm
yeah.
just like, I don't care.
Yeah,
It's a woman. It's a Barbie.
yeah.
Um, and there's of course like a fat Barbie, and there's many Barbies, and
Yeah, it's like
it's
Black Barbie president, Dr. Barbie,
yeah,
what's the literature Barbie. Like
yeah.
there's so every and like it's not even being like, oh, I'm representing women. It's like, oh,
I'm
it's
representing
just the
Barbies
Barbies,
because
all the
Barbies
Barbies.
represent everybody.
Yeah. And yeah, my favorite is, well, I don't know. It's either Weird Barbie or Dr. Barbie. I love
Yeah,
Dr.
a
Barbie
weird
because,
Barbie is kind of disconnected from all the Barbies, so
yeah,
you don't think about her when you think about the
yeah.
other Barbies.
Um,
Because like, puberty skipper, her boobs grow.
and then there's the Sugar Daddy,
Sugar
Daddy
daddy.
Ken,
No, I'm sure
Sugar,
this is sugar, and I'm her
no,
daddy.
Daddy. There's
Magic hearing Ken.
Magic,
And
yeah.
I hate that they censored him in the movie because
Mm,
he should have had a cock ring around his head.
yeah.
It's
Be, but make it real.
make it real, you
Uh,
know? How dare you?
that had a TV in her, which was
Oh
also
yeah. And she was like, whose dream is that?
yeah.
But it was actually canceled because people were afraid, like conspiracy theories,
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh, they're watching our children, you know.
So,
But also, like, it would be weird if like a creepy uncle gave it to,
yeah, yeah.
or a creepy aunt. um, but a lot of the humor of Barbie is just like, haha, that is like Barbie.
Yeah, that is so Barbie. No, it's also being like, so when they first got into the real world and they're on their roller skates and she goes, oh, there's a construction site. We should go. I need some female energy. And
Feminine
then
energy.
feminine energy. And then she goes and it's all men. And it's them like whistling at her and throwing, and it's so good too because they're throwing like these random catch phrases and shit that
If
men
I
use
said your body was hot, would you hold it
against
against me?
me, or being like, is that a mirror in your pants because I can see myself in the, but
And
they're all
it's
cut
like,
up,
yeah, like
jumbled together, and then she goes,
it's like dogs barking, like ah.
yeah, and then she's like, there's a lot of I'm sensing a lot of entendres and they appear to be doubled, and I just want to make you all I just want to tell all of you I don't have a vagina and
He
he
does
does
not
have
have
a
a
penis.
penis. We do
We
not
don't
have
have
genitalia.
genitalia. And then she rolls away, and then he's like, I have all the genitals.
And then they see a poster of like Miss
Miss you.
USA, like the supermodels with and she's like, the Supreme Court. Oh, what a movie.
So, because like if we, I feel like the reason we can't remember random jokes is that like we can quote it from beginning to an end
Yeah.
and then remember all the jokes. But
It's
this
like
way,
when
it's
you
just
don't
like,
remember the months because like I told you, like
yeah, you have
September,
to go like
October.
January, February, March,
So I was like,
April.
oh, there was that one joke. Wait. Since the beginning of time, there was always dolls. And there were always baby dolls. And that is fun for just a second. Ask your mom. It's the whole movie. They're like an hour and 20 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
I remember.
I know.
I know.
Another beautiful quote is when Ruth tells Barbie, "Us mothers stand still, so
So
that their
daughters
daughters can
can
look
see.
back and see how far they've come." Oh my God!
Jesus. Jesus H. Christ.
I have never been this emotionally invested into anything, any form
Yeah,
of media,
and
ever.
you get invested.
And I get invested.
Let me tell you, you get more invested in people. This is
Mhm.
a like comment that's constantly made
Okay.
because I'm like the thing, the movie, the
Yeah.
show, the
Yeah.
book, the music,
Yeah.
and you are like the person.
The
Like,
person. Yeah.
but you have not been this intense about Madonna.
Yeah. Nothing in my life.
Like, and Madonna is,
A big part of my life.
well, Madonna is looking at Barbie.
Yeah.
Like we have a Madonna like on the right side of our wall, and then a Barbie on
On the left.
the
Yeah.
left side of it. Maya came in and she was like, "I forgot to take a picture of Madonna last time I was here," being like, "Oh, what a."
Yeah.
They instantly went like, "What a cool house!" And by the way, our dog shat in the bathroom, so like there was a shit stink.
Yeah.
They were like, "What a cool house!" And it's like, our house is so cool
So cool.
that there's like it smells like shit.
And people don't care.
People are just like, "Wow."
Wow.
And it's
Awesome.
also they have a. I mean, his parents have a dog, and then he often stays with them,
Yeah.
so it's like they have the understanding.
Yeah.
Hey, Barbie, thank you so much.
Thank you to Greta.
Thank
Greta
you,
is a
Greta.
wonderful person.
Thank you, Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie really helped a
Hmm.
lot with this movie. There isn't a point of this movie that I can say was lackluster.
Yeah.
The marketing, the casting, the music, the set design, the direction, fucking lighting,
Fucking. Oh my God. Yes. Like.
because all of the Barbies have perfect supermodel lighting,
Yeah.
and then weird Barbie has like overhead like
Direct at her face
direct
to
at her
make her look
face.
weird because she's weird Barbie.
And
It's so
you
good.
you don't think about that,
Yeah,
but
but
you
it's
think
like
about
it adds to
it.
the.
Also, she's always in the splits, and all of the children who played with Barbie is like that. They
Yeah.
always put her in splits.
Always in splits, and it's so perfect. And
Oh,
it's like,
what
and
about
why is
the?
she always in splits? And it's like, oh my God.
Oh, and then at the end of the movie, they go like, "We're so sorry we called you weird Barbie, both behind your
Yeah.
back and to your
And
face."
she's like, it's okay, I'm owning it.
And then she goes like, "I will offer you one of my positions." She's
Yeah.
like, "Can I please have sanitation?
But so like, still weird. Like, who wants sanitation? It's like, can I
Can I
please
please
have
have
sanitation?
sanitation?" And she goes like,
Yes.
"Okay,"
Sure.
like, uh, one of the funniest parts about of the movie to me is at the midway point of the movie,
Hmm.
there's a random commercial about like introducing Depression Barbie. She's in her sweatpants and she's scrolling through Instagram for
7 hours a day.
for hours, and she's looking at her friends' posts.
Engagement photos, and then it's like,
She's eating Starburst in the bed, and now her jaw is dead. And she keeps rewatching the BBC version of Pride and Prejudice.
for the seventh time in a row
And then
till she falls
until
asleep.
she falls asleep, and then it cuts to like I am a gentleman.
Yeah.
And then I go like OCD, anxiety, and depression sold separately.
It's so good.
Out of nowhere.
Oh.
And like, oh, and let's end talking about Barbie, talking about I think one of the most important parts of the movie, the ending.
Okay.
So it's and weirdly it's an ending where you're at the edge of your seat.
Hmm.
So you're like so you're so satisfied with this movie, right?
Yeah.
And she decides to become a human. And she walks in and you're like, oh, she's gonna get a job, she's
Mhm.
gonna do something, she's gonna do, and you're like, she's gonna do something to prove that she's a human.
Yeah.
And then they do something that is a joke that everybody laughed at, but it is
So
humanity.
important
Yeah,
for her
she
becoming a
goes like,
woman.
and then it's like, well, the name last name, and she goes like Ruth comma Barbara, which is the name of okay.
You got it. You got
And then she went like, I'm here to see my gynecologist.
so happy, and we're
Everybody was laughing, but also when you think about it, it's such a human thing.
yeah.
Like,
And it's so like because the movie would end with her being like, and I'm a big girl now. I have a job, or
yeah,
like,
like and you would be like, okay, I'm standing up and I'm leaving
Yeah.
the theater,
It's like,
being happy with the movie I
yeah.
saw.
It's just I'm here to see my gynecologist. Like after this emotional turmoil of sadness and like such like in depth, like oh my god, I am realizing things about myself. I'm realizing things about other people, and then it just ends on. I'm here to see my gynecologist, and then we all laugh.
The original laugh is because you realize, oh, now she has a vagina.
Yeah,
That's the joke.
yeah,
But also going at it like human,
yeah.
like that is a human thing to do.
Oh,
Now,
God,
I'm going to ask you the hardest question.
hardest question of all. Ask me.
Who's mother of the week?
Honestly, I don't think she's gonna have an episode on her own, so I'm just gonna say Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo.
Greta Garbo. What about Monroe? Featuring the fashion.
Greta Gerwig's already.
Greta Gerwig. Well, I
Yes.
think we'll watch some of her other movies. Like I really love Little Women.
Yeah, I want. I didn't. I never saw Little
You
Women.
never saw Little
No,
Women?
and
I
it's a
hate the costume design in it,
okay.
but other than that, it's great.
Yeah.
We'll see like a few versions of Little Women. There's like
Yeah.
different one. And one, what's her face? We love her. Stranger Things, Beetlejuice.
Oh, fuck me,
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Yeah.
Oh, most importantly, Black Swan. Did you suck his cock?
Fuck, yeah.
There's a version with her as one of the
Oh,
sisters,
fun.
shit like that. And I really like this version of Little Women, and it's fun.
Yeah.
I do not like Lady Bird
Okay.
because it's too real.
Okay.
It's a teenage daughter and her mother, and that's their
Yeah.
relationship. And she is the most cringe. That's the point.
Yeah.
But she is cringe. She's like,
Yeah.
I forgot her name, so she's like, Susie, can you quiet down? And she's like, it's not Susie, it's Lady Bird.
Yeah.
It's too real. It's
Yeah.
too like
Triggering.
if you lived past it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
There's this. Oh my god, it's the worst. There's this scene where like um like her mom is like, I pay for everything, and then she comes in with like a notepad, being like,
Much.
tell me how much.
Yeah. And I'll pay back or get a job.
And
I'll pay
it's
back. Yeah.
so like,
Okay.
oh,
Okay,
we
Queen. Calm down.
it's we love
Yeah.
it, but I
Yeah, I want to say Greta Gerwig just because she did come into as much as we're talking about feminism, might as well. It's a very male-dominated thing, like
yeah
directing and all of that, and she comes in with like every movie she did, it was directed very beautifully,
yeah
and she's so fun and she's so nice and such a like, she's a visionary and smart and just great, and I love her and she deserves the world. There you go. Who's your mother of the week?
Maya and Felix.
Okay.
I talked about them a lot, but
Yeah.
like it felt so nice to be surrounded with people. I love all of my friends, but I've been surrounded with the same people for so long, and I have not had a new friendship that is. I mean, this is not a new friendship, but it's refreshing. Like I have not been around the like different people in so
Yeah.
long that are still nice.
Yeah.
Because I'm friends with all the different kinds of nice.
Yeah.
And then like whenever I meet somebody else, it's like, oh, you're nice in a
this
way
way,
that one of
yeah.
my friends is. And then I didn't see, and it's just so like,
Hmm.
it's I think with Maya especially, it's just the connection. Like,
Yeah.
oh, me and you, like we grew up together, and we kind of like nobody knows me like you do, but also we don't even congratulate each other's birthdays.
Yeah.
It's like it's like true friendship is like you can like not talk for months and like continue as if nothing
Yeah.
happened.
That's so real.
I
You
know.
should post that.
I should put that on a shirt
Put that on
if
a
I'm
shirt and
being
sell it.
honest.
Everyone will buy it.
So yeah, if you two are listening, I love both of you deeply,
Mhm.
and I can't wait to go to Vienna. So yeah.
I want to come too. To see Rihanna. And y'all are great.
And she loves the song Vienna.
Yeah, Billy Joel. Break into a song.
And you're like, I love Vienna by Billy Joel. And I go like, it's 5 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular crowd shuffles in. And it's sweet and it's sad and sweet and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. Oh, God. Next week we should do Sweeney Todd.
Okay.
I really want to watch Sweeney Todd.
There you go.
Love Sweeney Todd.
Now you know.
Now you know.
The more you know, shooting
You were
stuff.
edge of the seat.
I know. Can't wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it? Are we? How much are we? An hour and 42 minutes.
I thought it was gonna be 10, so we're good.
We're good. We're great. This is,
Although I haven't said a lot that I wanted to, but I know
girl.
I can't.
We will do another episode eventually. Like,
Gotta.
but the problem is we will go from the beginning.
Yeah, and
We'll say everything we said here.
and let us add another bit, and then another bit. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna.
We
be
have
fun.
fun.
We have fun. We're gonna do like a Mother of the Week, Barbie director's commentary.
Yes. Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
stay mother.
Stay mother.